Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered who's really looking back? Not your name, not your job title, not the roles you play for others, but the authentic you beneath all those layers. The one who feels things deeply. The one who questions quietly when the world gets too loud. Over 2,000 years ago, Aristotle offered us what might be the most important insight for living a meaningful life. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Simple words, beautiful words, but don't mistake their gentleness for weakness. This isn't just some poetic phrase to put on a coffee mug. It's a challenge, perhaps the greatest challenge any of us will ever face. Because to truly know yourself means seeing all of you. The beautiful parts and the messy parts. The strengths you proudly display and the weaknesses you carefully hide. The truths you embrace and the ones you've been running from. And truth, real truth, is never comfortable to face. But here's what I've discovered and what I hope to share with you today. This discomfort is where transformation begins, where wisdom takes root, where a life of meaning and purpose finally becomes possible. Let's be honest about something. Many of us know more about our favorite celebrities than we do about our own hearts. We've become experts at curating the perfect social media feed, but strangers to our own inner landscape. Why is that? Because looking outward is infinitely easier than looking inward. We live in a world that celebrates constant motion, productivity, achievement, external validation, but self-awareness, self-reflection, these require something our culture rarely encourages: stillness. Stillness can feel threatening when you're not used to it, because when you're still, you can't distract yourself anymore. You can't scroll away the questions that have been waiting patiently in the background of your busy life. Am I truly happy in this career, or just comfortable? Do my relationships nurture my growth, or do they keep me small? Are my daily choices aligned with my deepest values? Or am I just following the path of least resistance? These aren't casual questions. They're foundation shaking. They demand you pay attention to the gap between who you are and who you're pretending to be. And that's precisely what Aristotle understood centuries ago. If you don't know who you truly are, your entire life becomes a house built on shifting sand. Every decision, every relationship, every pursuit of happiness, all based on someone else's blueprint for your life. And one day, you might wake up surrounded by everything you thought was supposed to make you happy, only to feel a profound emptiness you can't explain. So what does it actually mean to know yourself? And more importantly, how do we begin? It's not about having all the answers or reaching some perfect state of enlightenment. It's about becoming a curious student of your own mind and heart. It's about noticing what brings you genuine joy, not just temporary pleasure. It's about observing how you respond under pressure. Do you reach for connection or isolation? Courage or comfort? Truth or what's convenient? It's about asking yourself the harder questions. Why did I react that way? And then staying present long enough to hear the real answer, not just the convenient one. This journey begins with small, consistent practices. Journaling becomes not just recording what happened, but exploring why you felt what you felt. What triggered that reaction in me today? What does that reveal about what I truly value? Solitude becomes sacred space. Not lonely isolation, but intentional time away from others' voices so you can finally hear your own. Honest conversations with trusted friends become mirrors that reflect both your light and your shadow, because we all have blind spots we can't see without help. And perhaps most importantly, each day becomes an opportunity to ask, are my choices a reflection of who I truly am and want to become, or who I think others expect me to be? Because knowing yourself isn't a destination you reach once. It's an ongoing conversation, a relationship with yourself that deepens over time. And every single day, you get to decide, do I continue this dialogue, or do I abandon it for what's comfortable and familiar? Imagine for a moment what your life might look like if you truly knew yourself. Picture making decisions from a place of clarity and alignment rather than fear and approval seeking. Envision saying no without guilt because you recognize when something isn't right for you, and saying yes with your whole heart to what truly matters. Imagine not just chasing happiness, but creating it from within, because you've built a life that honors who you authentically are. This is the wisdom Aristotle spoke of. Not knowing everything about everything, but knowing yourself enough to grow into who you're meant to become. Because the moment you begin to see yourself clearly is the moment everything starts to shift. You set boundaries that honor your needs. You release what was never yours to carry. You stop performing and start being. And as you become more authentically you, something remarkable happens. You give others silent permission to do the same. Your courage becomes contagious. You become someone who lives from truth rather than expectation, from wholeness rather than fragmentation, from wisdom rather than reactive patterns. Not wisdom that impresses others, but wisdom that transforms your life from the inside out. So today, I invite you to ask yourself, not with judgment, but with genuine curiosity and compassion. Who am I beneath all the roles I play? What do I truly value? Not because I should, but because it resonates deep within me. What aspects of myself have I been ignoring that are asking for attention now? Because knowing yourself isn't just where wisdom begins. It's where freedom takes root. It's where peace becomes possible. It's where a life of meaning and purpose unfolds. If something in this message resonates with you, if you feel called to this journey of self-discovery, I hope you'll join our community here on Path Within. Subscribe to continue exploring these timeless philosophical insights. Share this video with someone who might need this reminder, and leave a comment about one small step you're taking toward knowing yourself more deeply. Because perhaps the wisest thing any of us can do in this noisy, distracted world is to finally come home to ourselves.